Hello and welcome to another episode of Common Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this mediocre Monday afternoon. I hope you all had a great weekend and a great start into the new week. As always, in Common Chaos Live, I'll try to answer all the questions you have, including the ones in the comments on my videos. Before we jump into that, however, let's get the usual disclaimer out of the way first. Everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. With that said, just a heads up, it's possible that I have to cut this stream short because we're expecting a delivery that might show up anywhere in the next 30 minutes. So just so you're aware, and with that, I can actually share my screen with you and we'll jump into Agorapulse so we can take a look at the recent comments on the videos I received. First comment from, I'm not even gonna try, on the Pi Network video, blah, blah, blah. So comment is, hi, the new wallet signed in always reads this wallet does not exist or error. How can we be sure that our next migration will get there? Well, if you try to access a wallet in the Pi Network app, I actually set up the screen sharing by now. Let's see if this works. Yes, it does. So if you go to your Pi browser, and then in the Pi browser, you go to wallet, obviously wallet there. Then you need to enter your 24-word passphrase. Now you can obviously, once you've logged in successfully, also use Face ID or whichever metric is supported on your device. But basically you need your 24-word passphrase. If once or twice you get an error that says error or something like that, that's perfectly fine. However, if it might just be a technical issue and it works an hour later. However, if you keep getting that error, then it means you don't have the right passphrase, which means we covered it in last week's episodes as well, that you either did not write down all 24 words, which would be very, very bad, or that you have a typo. Now, to cover both scenarios, if you Google for BIP 39 word list, you will find this word list here. And first of all, you should count the words that you've written down. Do you have 24 words? If you're missing one, there are already 20 something possible words that could be used as the 24th one. So manually, you probably will not be able to fix that, especially if you don't know if you missed the last word or one in the middle. If you're missing two, you're shit out of luck, because then there are already more than 4 million combinations that you will never manually be able to try. Now, if you are tech savvy, you might write a script that interacts with the blockchain to check those 4 million combinations. But you get the idea. If you didn't write down all 24 words, you're shit out of luck. You should most likely just create a new wallet and back up your passphrase properly this time. If you wrote down 24 words, but somehow you still get an error, then look at this list and compare it with the words that you wrote down. Maybe you have a typo. Maybe you wrote excess with one S or one C or something like that. So just compare the words. They're here alphabetically ordered with what you wrote down and see if maybe you made a typo. If that's the case, just fix the typo and your wallet should open. Now, we've already covered it last week as well. However, I would still like to mention it this week too. If you store your passphrase on your computer, let's circle back to the main screen and just open Notepad like I do every stream. So if you just write it down like this, word 1, word 2, word 3, word 4, and you save it as a document on your computer or as a note on your phone, or even worse, just take a screenshot of the passphrase and store it in your Photos app, this is not secure. Anybody with access to your device could potentially find it. If you are on your computer and you have a document with passwords and your passphrases, you're just waiting to get some kind of virus or infection on your computer that just will steal that passphrase and clean out your wallet. So you should store your passphrases properly. Now, I mentioned it in the last weeks as well, so I'm gonna try to keep this short this time. Obviously, the best solution would be if you get something like passphrase, metal engraving, so like so there, something like this, where you engrave the passphrase so it's safe. It cannot, like, if you write it down on a piece of paper, the ink might fade, the paper might, I don't know, crumble, I don't know what, yeah. Whereas if it's engraved in metal, you're on the safe side. However, the really best solution would be if you have something like this, doesn't have to be that exactly thing, and you only write down, for example, the first 8 words on one, the next 8 words on the second, and the remaining 8 words on the third card, and then you would store them in 3 separate physical locations. So, for example, 3 different banks, and they're in 3 different bank depository boxes. Yeah, that's obviously an overkill that for most people is not possible. So the next best thing is, in my opinion, actually, especially when we're talking about hot wallets, so wallets that were set up while being connected to the internet anyway, so like in your Pi Network app, to use a password manager like 1Password. Now, 1Password will cost you a couple dollars per month, but it's, in my opinion, the most secure, like middle ground. Yeah, so outside of having physical different locations. Why is that? Because if you engrave all 24 words on this on this plate here, or you write them down on paper, and even if you have a safe at home and you put the metal plate or the piece of paper in the safe or somewhere in a drawer at home, if anybody breaks in or visits or whatever and finds that plate or piece of paper, they instantly have full access to your wallet. They just have to figure out for which wallet that's the passphrase. So is it a Pi Network wallet? Is it a Bitcoin wallet? And so on. But they have instant full access. Whereas when you sign up for 1Password, you have an email, you have your master password, and you have a secure key that is only shown to you during the sign up. So if you then, first of all, if your email address is, I don't know, mike@gmail.com, don't use that email for the 1Password account, but use something like an alias with Gmail that would work, like Mike plus something at this here, yeah, gmail.com. So here you pick something random, even if it would just be your birth date or something, yeah. So that if somebody finds the engraving with your secret key for 1Password, they only have 1 of 3 necessary things. They still would need to figure out which email you used. And again, if you don't use your main email, but at least use an alias of your main email, even if it would be Mike at plus 1Password, yeah, at gmail.com. But ideally not something so straightforward. And on top of that, you would need to know your master password. And only with all those 3 things would they be able to gain access to your 1Password account, and then in there be able to access your passphrase, yeah, which makes it much more secure, especially if you don't keep the original paper or PDF that you get from 1Password, where it says 1Password recovery kit, but you just keep the secure code without any mentioning what it's for, so that it's for 1Password. So then even if you store it at home in your safe, or in your drawer, if somebody sees it or finds it, they don't know what it's for. It's not as obvious as 24 random words that are clearly a wallet, a mnemonic phrase. They don't know what it's for. They don't know which, even if they would use and know it's 1Password, they don't know which email address you used. So if you just use a unique alias address, they will never guess that. And they still don't know your master password. And then your passphrases are even secure in that case. Plus, if you have 1Password set up on your computer, like I have it here, and on top of that on your, for example, mobile phone, if you forget your secure key and maybe you lock yourself out of 1Password on your computer, or you want to set it up on a new device, maybe on a new laptop you bought or something like that, you can still use another device where you logged in to basically confirm the access. Yeah. So it's, in my opinion, I know it's online, it's stored in the cloud, but all your data, all your passwords get encrypted with your password and the secure key. And that secure key is only shown to you during the sign up. So in my opinion, that's the securest way, outside of going really, really secure and splitting up your passphrase and storing it in 3 different locations. Yeah, especially if we then consider the factor convenience. Yeah, if you have the passphrase split up in 3 parts and stored at 3 different locations, every time you need it somewhere for whatever reason, you would need to first go to those 3 locations and pick up the metal cards and then later bring it back. So so there are a few things to consider. Anyway, going already way off topic here, but yeah, that's the answer to this question. Yeah, there's a question about B network, daily 5-task bonus problem running solution, please. I mean, I'm very sorry. There are 2 things that I want to say here. First of all, I have no idea what you're talking about. Second of all, actually more than two things. Second of all, if you watch that video, I know that, or you'll know that I consider B network at this point a waste of time because they made no real progress. And third of all, if you have an issue with anything, please include an explanation, like what exactly are you trying to do, what is not working, what device are you using, so people can actually try to provide you with an answer. Just saying daily 5-task bonus problem, running solution please, is not gonna get you an answer to your question at all. Yeah. That reminds me, I had the chat hidden here. Okay, so yeah. And moving on. Is there a way, so that's about Pi Network, is there a way to submit a KYZ application as a minor? I heard that there is a way to have parental consent, but I can't find anything on how to do that. To be 100% honest, I'm not 100% up to date on that KYZ part right now. But from what I recall, the parental consent solution hasn't been integrated yet. I don't think it will be an issue, to be honest. I think that when you then submit KYZ, it will just, based on your birth date, do the calculation when you turned 18 and therefore then also adjust any coins that are forfeited and whatnot. It could also be, maybe that's the reason why the core team pushed the KYZ grace period deadline for another month. Maybe they really want to make sure that they already published the KYZ solution for parental consent. So I'm not 100% sure on that. I would actually recommend that you ask in the official Pi Network subreddit. So that's reddit.com/r/Pi Network. So I'm going to share that in the chat, by the way. Pi Network. I mean, it's not the official Pi Network subreddit, but there are a few people that are also moderators in the Pi Network chats active. So it's quite a great place to get answers. That reminds me, by the way, before I forget, so also quickly, if you're looking for a specific answer to a specific topic, chances are in most cases I already made a video about it. So all my Pi Network videos. So I'm gonna share the playlist so you can check that out directly. If you want to know vendors that I already use that accept Pi coins, there are like 2 videos about that. If you have issues with KYZ, there are videos that cover the most common topics. If you forgot your passphrase or got scammed, there are videos that cover that and so on. So feel free to check that out as well. Yeah. I cannot change the lockup period to 3 years to 2 weeks. I guess I mean from 3 years. For that, we can actually, if I press this magic button again and we jump back into Pi Network. So as far as the lockup goes, when you go to mainnet, and then there should be configure the lockup rate, and you can see I can adjust it right now. Once you lock up your, can I decrease it? Yeah, I can also decrease it. Yeah. Once you lock up your coins for the first time, the setting is locked in and can only be increased. So if you pick 2 weeks and 50%, before you receive the first migration, you could still go and increase it, but you could not go down to 25%, yeah, or disable the lockup altogether, yeah. So that just wouldn't work. And then when you receive the first migration, then you can freely update the setting again, which will then affect future migrations, yeah. Now, considering that by now we also have the on-chain lockup, so for that I'll need to unlock my wallet for a second, and you'll see that I don't have any Pi. So there are now also on-chain lockups where you, once it's migrated, I'm already migrated, but I don't have coins. Oh, now it's working, yeah. So once you're migrated, you can also configure the on-chain lockup, which means where you could go for a higher amount. As said, I cannot pick anything here because my wallet is empty right now, because I have an existing lockup and the rest of the coins are already used in transactions. So in my opinion, right now, the best lockup setting would actually be 100% for 2 weeks. Yeah, this ensures that you already get a small mining boost. I'm gonna save that. So in the Pi Network app, mainnet, lockup settings, increase commitment. Let's see if it saves that. Okay, update it. Because once you get the coins then migrated, they are then locked up for 2 weeks, which is not very long. And you can then just in the wallet itself, maybe the Pi of Pi coins is too low for you. Maybe you don't need all your Pi coins, whatever. After those 2 weeks, you can just trade a longer lockup. So you could then go, okay, never mind. I still want to sign up half of my Pi for another year. So this way you're flexible. The reason why I think this is the best way is because the lockup itself, but if you pick a 3-year lockup and you save the setting today, but you only get your coins migrated in half a year, those 3 years start counting from the moment they get migrated. And this way, by locking in a 2-week 100% lockup, you already get some mining bonus, but you also ensure that if the migration still takes a month, 3 months, half a year, however long, that once the coins hit the wallet, that they are not locked then 3 years from then. And then when they are in your wallet, you can again then reconsider, depending on how the current situation around Pi Network is, how long you want to lock up your coins and how much you will lock up. Yeah. I will never give up. I don't know on which video that is. Let's see if you on YouTube. That's Alpha Network, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, Alpha Network is an I had forgot to share my screen, circling back here. So next comment would be, I will never get up. And that's actually on this video. Alpha Network is an interesting project because on one hand, it made certain progress, but on the other hand, it also lacks so many, not facts, but so much of proof. Yeah. So they launched already a while back, they launched their exchange for Alpha Network, which obviously went horribly. You can see there's 163,000 sell orders and only 1,300 buy orders because there is no use case for the coin. Yeah, there's also no real price discovery because the price obviously with a sell to buy order relationship should be 0.000 something. Yeah, but it's like a calculated price based on whatever logic they are using there. And you have a hard time selling because of the lack of buy orders. Yeah. So on one hand, you already gave people a way to cash out, and if you are patient and you just list your alpha coins to sell here, after a couple of months, maybe it takes a year, maybe it takes even 2 years, you will have sold them and you will be able to withdraw them from the exchange as USDT to your own wallet. Yeah, I did all of that in the past. It worked, and I have no reason to doubt that it doesn't work. On top of that, they also, I'm gonna switch back to the app. So 1 second, just need to open the app, Alpha Network, and we push that magic button. It's so nice with the phone integration. So they also launched the auctions. Well, I like the commitment to actually try to win an auction, but the auctions also work in the same way. So I made a video about them. If you check on my channel, that goes into detail, but this is another way for users to cash out. So I could technically bid on this specific auction here. And if I bid on that auction and I win it when the time expires, then I would get 40 USDT that I could withdraw to my own wallet through the Alpha Exchange website. Yeah, so they did that. But on the background, there's no real blockchain explorer. There's the weird blockchain explorer that's in the app, but I don't believe it's a real blockchain because there's no node software. There are so many other aspects. And on top of that, the team just recently announced that which is now not visible. I'm going to restart the app 1 second. It shows up sometime. Yeah. So that they now have an enclosed mainnet and a seed phrase. So a real wallet that doesn't run on whatever they built, but you have to have an invitation for it. So as you can see, I don't have an invitation for it. So on one hand, the project has so many aspects that show it's like not really making a lot of progress and or legit. On the other hand, it already had a working way or still has working ways for users to actually cash out their coins if they want to. Yeah. So it's like quite a confusing project. I still press the button there every day simply because it takes 5 seconds, and maybe there actually will be a real blockchain. They also launched a couple of games, so mobile games where people then can earn crypto or alpha coins or something like that. I honestly am not spending a lot of time looking into the project anymore at the moment, but they're still working actively. And the fact that while they don't have such a structured approach as Pi Network has, they actually actively work on use cases, even if it's just mobile apps. So it's going to be interesting, and I think it's still a project where pressing the button once per day doesn't hurt. Yeah. So I mean, never give up is maybe the wrong assessment from my perspective. So I'm not in the I never give up, but I keep pressing the button and I'm here and there checking what's going on. Yeah. So that about that. If you want to learn more about Alpha Network, there's a whole playlist on my channel as well. So dig into that. Yeah. Moving on, how can I have 2 Pi wallets? Well, just like with any other cryptocurrency, or almost just like with any other cryptocurrency, you can obviously, and if we circle back into the Pi browser and switch again to the phone, God, I love that, so I have to take advantage of it. On the screen where you can unlock your wallet, you also have you can create a new wallet. So just like you can have multiple Bitcoin wallets and multiple wallets on the Ethereum blockchain and so on, you could also create multiple wallets in Pi Network, and each of them will have a 24-word passphrase that's also called mnemonic phrase or seed phrase. And the only difference is, at least for now, I'm not 100% sure if that changes with the open mainnet, but for now, in order to be able to receive coins, you need to have your wallet activated, which happens when you get the first coins migrated. So if I were to create a new wallet right now, I would have a public address, I would have a private address, and I would have a mnemonic phrase or a passphrase. But if I give you the public address, you couldn't send Pi coins to that wallet because it's not activated yet. I would then have to go into my Pi app, mainnet checklist, and in the mainnet checklist, update point number 3 and point number 8, if I recall it correctly. And then wait for the next migration to have coins migrated into that new wallet. And with that, then I would actually have 2 wallets that I can use because I still know the passphrase for my existing wallet. And once the migration hits the second wallet, that one would be activated and I could actually use both of them. And I just would use the different passphrases to switch between the individual wallets. Switching back, I'm about to lose my voice, so we're gonna cut this stream a little shorter than usual. So usually we aim for 30 minutes. We're right now at 21, so, but yeah, let's see. Dummy channel of crypto space, thank you very much, I'm not gonna reply to that right now. Pi is a fucking scam coin at this point, fucking joke, It's so weird, like, how many people spend their time and energy to watch videos or content or are active in the Pi Network subreddit just to constantly say it's a scam, it's not worth anything or so, but don't spend even 5 minutes doing any research. So first of all, I mean, I mentioned it often enough, I really hate the misuse of the word scam. If you had your crypto at FTX and FTX used it to gamble and lost it, that's a scam. If you, I don't know, paid into Bernie Madoff's investment fund that turned out to be a Ponzi scheme, that's a scam. But if you push a button once per day and see a couple of ads that you can turn off in your profile settings, and you don't have to invest any money, and the worst thing that can happen is that the project fails, that's not a scam. That might be a failed project, but it's not a scam. You don't lose anything. Not to mention that if you do 5 minutes of research, you'll find that Pi Network already launched their own blockchain that has 2 different testnets and a running mainnet. They developed their own KYC solution, and that KYC solution by now was used to verify almost 10 million different users across the planet. There is a growing number of vendors that accept Pi coins as form of payment. Now, while there might be more in Asia than there are in Europe, and there might be more in Europe than there are in the US or so, but there are, for example, the Games for Pi subreddit, where you can buy games, as the name says. There is the Games for Pi subreddit without the number, but written, where you can buy hardware and games. Then there is tradeyourpi.com, which is run by the same subreddit, where you, as you can see, can buy physical product, video games, and so on. So you can buy drones, smartwatches, phones, and so on with your Pi coins. And there are obviously more. Those are just the 3 vendors that I personally know. There is the local Pi subreddit, so r/localpi, that's operated by one of the Pi Network moderators, where you can say, okay, I have this for sale, and in that I'm willing to ship, or it's only with we meet up, and basically I show you the goods, you send me the Pi, I give you the goods, where people are sharing or selling stuff or trading stuff worldwide. So running around and screaming it's a scam or something just makes you look like a complete moron, because literally 5 minutes of research show that it's like, yeah, like a legit or a real cryptocurrency running on its own blockchain that's already accepted by vendors across the world. Yeah, you might not agree to the exchange rate that certain vendors are using. You might think Pi is worth more. Okay, that's up to you. But there are trades happening or transaction happening paid with Pi every single day. Yeah, trade your Pi, for example. Even has by now, as you can see, 252 reviews and a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot. Latest review, most recent, from 5 days ago. Yeah. So here 6 days ago. 6 days ago. Yeah. And on top of that, in the subreddit, they also have a thread or a post for reviews from transactions that were made there. Yeah. So running around screaming Pi network is a scam, again, just makes you look like a retarded, lazy moron, but you do you. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to call it a day here. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you were able to get some answers from today's stream already. Yeah, if you didn't, you can always also join tomorrow's episode of Common Chaos Live and then just ask your questions in the chat. If it's not shown to you, the requirement to be able to interact with the chat is that you subscribe to the channel for at least 1 day. So this way, let's actually switch here. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, like, enable notifications so you don't miss out on the next episodes. And once you've subscribed for 24 hours, you can also ask your questions in the chat, which is to ensure that we keep out all the bots and crypto scammers. Yeah, but anyway, thanks for stopping by. I wish you all a pleasant rest of the day, and then see you all in another video, tomorrow's live stream, in the Discord community, yeah, or somewhere else. So till then, bye-bye.